Hi guys, welcome back to Busy Girl Likes to Eat. If you are joining us for the first time, I am a busy girl. I have things to do, places to be. However, I also really like to cook at home, and I can cook, but sometimes I get bored and I want to try something new, something different. And I get super excited about a brand new recipe, and then I try to make it and fun things happen. Like it's supposed to be 30 to 45 minutes. It takes me a solid 2 hours. Or it's got a bunch of words in there, I don't know what they mean. For you, I'm gonna go through some recipes, see if we can make them in a kitchen, and see if we can find some shortcuts because hey, we're busy. All right, so today we're gonna make Parmesan risotto with roasted shrimp from the kitchen blog, THEKITCHN. Who needs ease? You've got 1 pound of large raw shrimp. So here's the thing, I told you, I'm busy, okay? So what I love about this thing is that it's been peeled and deveined. We're gonna use some chicken broth. I love this recipe already because it said to me I needed 8 cups of chicken broth. You know how easy it is to get a quart of chicken broth? Done, I won't be able to waste anything this time. Yes. Onions. Okay, listen, I buy my onions pre-cut from the store. I don't want to cut my onions. Somebody else already does it. It is just an extra $1. Judge me if you want to. 2 cups of arborio. Hold on. Arborio. Roll your R. Fun things, all right. A 1/2 cup of dry white wine. I love a recipe that gives me a reason to buy alcohol. Parmesan cheese. I love it when they grate it for me. And there are gonna be people in the world, it's like, if you buy it this way, it's powdery. But if you buy it this way, it's already done. You know how long it takes to grate some stuff? Longer than I wanted to spend. I had a real conversation with myself. It took a while because I was like, I could just buy the dried parsley, or I could buy the full leaf of parsley. This was $1. The trade-off is $1 versus the spice was $2. Cheap. All right, so now that we have all of our ingredients, let's get started. I am reading these instructions for the very first time, so you really are making this with me. This is not Martha Stewart Living or the other Food Network channels. I'm cooking it like I do at home, because I'm at home. Arrange rack in the middle of the oven, heat to 400. I'm not doing that, okay? If you joined us for episode 1, and if you haven't, go back and watch episode 1. The trouble with preheating is every recipe I've ever said, ever read ever, was like preheat, and then I don't put anything in the stove for an hour, and then I'm just hot and sweating in my kitchen. So we're ignoring that. Shrimp that have already been, crap. Okay, these have already been peeled and deveined, but I gotta take the stupid tails off. Maybe someone will tell me why you would leave like the tail of it on, but for me, this just feels like more work for me to do. So this thing says large raw shrimp. It doesn't specify if the shrimp like needs to like, or like what type of raw shrimp it needs to be. If the shrimp like needs to like not have the shell and stuff on it. But here's the thing, I'm not gonna eat it with the shell on it. So why not get it to the way that it's supposed to be versus, you know, cooking it and then going, hey, now let me take the shell off of hot shrimp. This is not deveined, is it? It says it is. Look at this. Okay. They're not completely liars. They got rid of the one on the back. Okay. Okay, so the blood vein is on the stomach side. It's actually a nerve. Okay, we're actually okay, guys. We are going to rinse the shrimp. We're gonna do the thing I hate to do. Use another dish because you have to clean another dish. I hate that. But like, how do you know when shrimp are very dry? They always feel wet. I'm just gonna pat them until I don't want to anymore. Does that look dry to you? Does that look dry? Hey guys. Maybe be more careful than me because while we were away for a brief moment, I kind of got shrimp juice everywhere. Be better than me. Be stable. Because otherwise you'll be like me and have shrimp juice on the floor. Excuse me for a second. All right, shrimp juice. No longer on the floor. Oh, place the shrimp on rimmed baking sheet. All right. Rimmed baking sheet. Not the fanciest, but it'll do the job. Drizzle with oil, sprinkle with paprika. Oh, and refrigerate. Okay. This is why I didn't turn on the stove. This is why when the first instruction on these things are turn on your stove to preheat, don't do it. Was it 1 tablespoon of olive oil? No, come on. I'm just gonna drizzle. Whatever. Is that like a proper definition for drizzle? Like, I don't know. We're just gonna do one of these. We're gonna just do some of that. There we go. There we go. We're just gonna come up. I missed some. Well, okay, well, I don't know the definition of drizzle, but I do know the definition of soaked. I may be soaked of you. This is also why, if this doesn't come out well, it is definitely not the fault of the recipe's author. It is the fault of me loving shortcuts and not buying a drizzler or whatever the hell. Like, I probably could have put her on the spoon and made that easier, but I made a choice. I love this guy because it's a grinder with the pepper already in it. Done. It's so great. I don't have to buy a separate grinder. I don't have to like keep pepper kernels or whatever they're called all over my house. Well, not that I have pepper kernels like strewn about my home, but you know what I mean. I have to find a space for them in a cabinet. Ooh, I kind of wish I hadn't done that because shrimp is a little salty by itself. So I'm gonna stop with salt on shrimp. Recipe should say, hey, if you're not down with the salt, remember that shrimp is a little salty and I've just told you to put salt on it. Mind your life accordingly. Refrigerate while we prepare the risotto. It's going in the fridge. Excuse me. Can I tell you something that like gets on my nerves? It's like the next step in this recipe here. In a separate Dutch oven. Okay, this is what I mean. What the hell is a Dutch oven? It's a large pot. So we'll go back and have a conversation with my friend Google. The Dutch oven is a thick-walled cooking pot and a tight-fitting lid. Okay, if you look at this, it's just a big pot. So you can totally use one of these. Yes, you can spend $400 on the thing that's properly called a Dutch oven. Or you can just use a big pot. Like, that's all we're gonna do is put it in a big pot. Gets on my nerves again. Not a culinary professional, just a person trying to cook in her kitchen, her apartment kitchen. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I definitely left this butter out too long. It's gonna make it very hard to get the tablespoon out of here, but okay. All right, butter is melting, butter is melting. What happens after we do that? We're not doing this foolishness of actually getting a clove of garlic and mincing it. I'm not doing that. Minced garlic. It lives in the grocery store for you and for me. 1 medium-sized garlic clove equals 1 teaspoon of bottled minced garlic. 4 cloves, which means 4 teaspoons of minced garlic. I feel like that looks like a small white onion. Yeah, it's fine. Again, yes. I buy minced garlics. I buy onion already cut. You can judge me if you want to. But see how I'm already done? And anybody else is still mincing their garlic, cutting their onions, crying. Foolishness. We're gonna just hang out and do this for the next 1 to 2 minutes. We're just gonna hang out. It smells good. It smells like garlic and butter. Garlic butter. So, cup 1. Ta-da. You know, what I did in episode 1 that I'm not doing in episode 2, who knows why, is I stopped and prepped a lot of this stuff. And you know why I didn't? Because in episode 1, I had to like cut all these vegetables, etc., etc. And episode 2, it's just like, oh, just push everything in there. And then like, I forgot to do simple stuff like, at some point I need to cut this parsley. We're gonna coat our rice. Coating. Coat. I think just what needs like, make it look like it's got butter on it. Now for my favorite part, we get to add the wine. It's my wine dance. A lot of recipes say, you know, dry white wine. Like, what does that mean? There are so many types of white wine. If you are not a drinker of wine, to you, what does dry mean? Like, what a wine is wet. So dry white wine just means that it's just not as sweet. Pinot Grigio works really well with fish. Sauvignon Blanc works really well with chicken. Actually, and depending on like the type of chicken that you're making, like you might want to do like a Chardonnay if you're doing like a chicken Madeira, something sweeter or whatever. Like again, I go to Google, or I say Google, white wine for cooking fish, white wine for cooking chicken. But I will tell you, Pinot Grigio when you do fish, when it says dry white wine. Okay, what has to happen? Okay, the wine is in there. bottom of the pan until the wine has evaporated. So the wine's totally cooked in. Okay, the wine hasn't evaporated, so I have a second. My producer and I, we're working really hard. We deserve some wine. Alright, I'm probably getting really close to almost burning this, so I'm gonna pour this real fast. Hold on. It's not burned. It's not. Nothing's brown yet. Hey! Wine is so tasty. Okay, yeah. Pass this to my producer. Back to the recipe. We're not burning anything. Add the warm... What the hell? Guys, this is what I was talking about. Add the warm broth 1 ladle at a time. When the hell did we warm the broth? Oh, I missed a step, guys. Warm the broth in a medium saucepan over a low heat. I don't think I need to do that. So, but what I'm gonna do is do this for a second. It's pretty warm in here. It warmed in a box. This is the one that you buy off the counter, so it's at least room temperature. So the thing about risotto, it's really annoying, is that you do have to do like 1 at a time. But a ladle's gonna make a total mess, and I've already dripped fish juice all over the place. So, what I'm gonna do, because I'm smart, I'm gonna make my life easy and just do this 1 cup at a time. Now, I've made risotto before, so I didn't lie. This is the first time I've read this recipe. But I have made risotto before, so I know a little bit about risotto. Someone asked you to add something 1 cup at a time. Don't do that, please. Or like 1 ladle at a time. You're just gonna make a mess everywhere. Just use a cup, it's fine. It's not bad. So, I am predicting with my magical powers, this is gonna say, wait till it cooks away and then add the next one. Oh, this is fun. This actually, I love a recipe that actually has food things you should know. This is fun. This gradual addition of liquid is key to getting the rice to release its starch and create its own delicious sauce. So don't rush this step. It means I should drink my wine. La 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 la. I turned off the stove. So maybe you're laughing at me, maybe you're laughing with me. But again, just a real person in the world, okay? You can turn to the Food Network or all the other like proper food blogs and vlogs, you know, where they start and like the light is just coming in oh so dimly and it sounds like birds and there's background music because they can afford to pay someone for that or a license or something. This is why I sing to you, so that, you know, you have to deal with that. And you would get, you know, people would skip this, you wouldn't even see, you'd see it just went in. The food already got beautiful, but with me, you will see the moments, because I'm not a professionally trained chef. I don't even play one on TV or on YouTube. I just make stuff and I invite you on the journey. Begin tasting the rice after 13 minutes? I didn't set a time. No. You know what you should have told me? You should have said, hey, after 13 minutes, begin tasting the rice. And then told me to start like putting the rice in. I don't know how long we've been doing this. I'm not gonna start counting now. This is totally like a use your own judgment moment because like, yes, when there's not water up to where it was, like that feels like it's fully cooked in. Or does it feel like it's fully cooked in when it's like, just looks like sauce? I don't know. I highly recommend that if you make risotto, you drink the wine. And if you find a risotto recipe that doesn't call for wine, you throw that shit in the ground. Like, throw it out. That's f***ing garbage. What is the benefit of adding wine? I don't know, that you get to drink it afterwards. I'm not chopping parsley, guys. I'm not doing that. Because have you tried chopped parsley? It's a pain in the ass. I'm not doing that. The reason I'm not gonna chop the parsley is that, like, I don't actually need the entire parsley. I'm just gonna tear it, okay? So I'm just gonna, like, tear it from the top until we have a cup of it, okay? Is parsley a leaf? Because it looks like a tree. I'm gonna call it a leaf. Someone will tell me if I'm wrong. See, there's a reason why these cooking shows don't like show you how to actually make things step by step. It's boring as all hell. More chicken broth!
I think more wine, dude.
All right, more broth. And now we're gonna preheat the stove because at some point we're gonna need it. This is why I like to buy dried things, because this is your cup of parsley that I tore. This is how much parsley I have left over. What the hell am I supposed to do with this? Like no. Question. What am I supposed to do with this? Like what? This drives me absolutely nuts because like for things like parsley and other things where it's like, hey, you only need to use this much. And actually, the reason I bought this parsley instead of getting the dried parsley, which is what I probably should have done, is because it asked for like a whole cup. So many recipes are like a teaspoon, a tablespoon, and I'm like, that's stupid. Now, the mistake I made was looking at this and going, yeah, that's about a cup. I mean, it's probably about 3. For the most part, what you'll see on the blog are dinner recipes that you can that are large enough to be reheated throughout the week. Not that it has to be the only thing you eat for the week, but like at least it's there and it's available, and you don't have to stress yourself out about what you're gonna eat and stuff. When you get home, the first thing you want to do isn't to sit over a stove. The first thing you want to do is eat something that's tasty, and so things like risotto and things that are, that are large casseroles and that are really great for just tossing in the fridge and like making it again. I know there are people in the world who are like, leftovers, that's just old food. Lies, leftovers, if it was originally delicious. It's just this delicious food had twice, and who doesn't want to have something tasty twice? This is why you don't do the first step of setting it 400 degrees, because this instruction says we should be doing the risotto for 18 minutes. It's a hot house. That's in there. I'm just gonna set a quick timer on my phone for 5 minutes so I don't forget about it. Just know yourself. Just keep that in mind if you choose to try this recipe after you do it, is that, and if it's the first time you'll make risotto, it's that, yes, there are a ton of things you can like leave alone. Risotto just isn't one of them. It'll stick to the bottom and it just won't taste delicious. This risotto is done, in my opinion. So let's shake our shrimp out of the stove and see if it's roasted. It's a lot of freaking oil on here. Maybe better than me, guys. I don't know. I hope that your ability to drizzle is substantially better than my ability to drizzle. All right, so leftover Parmesan. I love leftover things from old recipes. I bought this because it said 8 ounces. And so, it says I need a cup and a half. Oh, that's not a cup. Wait, no it is. 16 ounces a pound. This is why we have this show, guys. This is it. I want you to know the fancy cooking show and the fancy cooking vlogs might make you feel, at least they make me feel silly, like I'm supposed to know these things. We're in this together, which might let you feel superior. It's fine. It's fine. It's called self-esteem. I love me. You can judge me if you want to. It says add half of the parsley and then sprinkle the top on it. No. Done. Oh yeah, I'm adding a bunch of things here. We got that pepper. The risotto deserves to have some flavor on its own. Let's put a little bit of cumin in there. Let's put some thyme in there, it's fine. So like, the risotto itself, it just felt kind of bland, and like, if you compare, I've got a pound of shrimp and a whole bunch of risotto. It's kind of like unequal, and if I'm letting the shrimp itself be the only flavor thing in there, that's not fun. So recipes are recipes and they're great, but like, add whatever you want. Like, add whatever tastes good to you. Like, add whatever you think is, because like, the thing is, at the end of the day, you shouldn't be like, oh, that recipe's just bland. I mean, the recipe might be just bland, but also it's your house, it's your kitchen. Add whatever the hell you want to it. You're the one who's eating it. They're never gonna know. I'm supposed to plate with the shrimp on top. I kind of want to just throw it in here. All right, and we have a finished product, risotto with roasted shrimp. Now, let's see if it's any good. Just a few things on this recipe in particular. If I could do it again, I think I would have done 2 pounds of shrimp versus 1, just because of the amount of risotto. There's so much risotto that like it needs more shrimp. Well, I'd prefer it with more shrimp. Do what you want, you're adults. Definitely recommend like adding your own seasoning, like tasting it and then adding your own seasoning. Do what works well for you. I'd say that this recipe, no matter how busy you are, you can definitely make it. There's a bunch of shortcuts you can make, from like frozen shrimp to doing the dried parsley. This is a kind of direct recipe. And it's so good with the wine. All right, guys, so this recipe here is getting a thumbs up for me, not just because it includes wine, but it does get an extra star because it includes wine. If you're interested in trying the recipe, the link is in the description. And hope you enjoyed today. If you have any comments, if you like this, check us out Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or comment below. See you next time.